Hello folks and welcome. LMDE 6 Cinnamon Desktop. This video was requested by a user and I think it was a month or so ago. I have been going through some medical stuff with the family and just getting around to some of this. So the user requested a video on custom icons, custom mouse pointers, and custom themes. This theme actually you have. And I'll show you some of the simpler stuff all the way to a little bit more advanced. Custom mouse pointers, custom icons, custom themes is what this video is about today. And maybe part of this is useful to you or maybe none of it. But in either case, you decide. And I am filming in 1080 today. And that has a large bearing on some of this stuff as how it looks to you. Welcome, folks. Roughly 30-minute ride. Subscription key is in the corner. That way you can watch it at your leisure. I'm going to start with the most basic, simple stuff that you can affect, which is your menu. Okay, I'm using very large icons, yes, and I'll show you how to do all that stuff. And this whole thing is resizable. All right, let's start over here. Again, the subscription key is over here. And let's take a look at the file manager for a second. So you just installed LMDE and you're wondering, when you click that folder, what special stuff does it do? All right, first of all, I'm going to turn on my hidden, which is View, Show Hidden Files, Control H. That's my favorite command because I don't like to go click in here. I just hit Control H and it shows up immediately. So everything that is in here that has a period or a dot is a hidden something. The example would be .bash history is a hidden born again shell history. Those are those commands you perform on a terminal, whether they're good or bad. It's a history file. So this folder here, though, is where my current mouse pointer called dark bolt is located. That's what this cursor is called, mouse pointer. When I click this themes, it looks for this folder. It looks for this directory. Dot icons, period icons. So I'm going to dump whatever is in here. And I'm going to manually delete this. It doesn't like me to do this when I'm filming. All right, if I were to click this, all right, so this is the current mouse cursor, but sometimes it'll auto switch to a default. But more importantly, it generated a folder. So let me go back out in here and do this one more time. I want to delete that so it's gone. And then I'm going to click this again and it generates another one. Okay, so basically if I close the folder completely and reopen, you'll see what I'm talking about. You also notice that the mouse pointer is not dark bolt, because it's not found in there anymore. It switched automatically to the default one. So it generated a .icons folder when I click themes. That does that automatically. It checks to see if this folder is here when you click this. So during your installation process, you may not see this, but by the time that you actually click that, this will already be here. I'm just showing you that it has nothing in it. So I have several folders that say .icons in them. One of them has those things. And that's the one I'm going to do a restart. But I need to delete the other one first. Otherwise we have a conflict. So one more time with the delete. I'm not going to click that though. I'm going to return my original .icons folder that I placed these items in. And do a restore. All right, so I'm going to go back in here. And then I'm going to open it up. Then I'm going to open this. And then I'm going to click the same thing. All right, so the dark bolt, I need to close and reopen this whole box for it to activate properly. And there we go. That is the reason it didn't change, because I hadn't closed the box yet when I imported the folder back in. All right, so that's dark bolt, and it's this one right here, and I manually installed it, and I will show you how to do that a little bit later. And then we have the Skyrim, which is this one. And then I have Night Diamond Red, which is this one. And this DMZ Halo, this one. Kind of looks like a ghostly looking thing. The other thing I'm going to talk about as I move forward, I'll talk about this maybe a couple of times, is you may have seen a lot of my videos. I'm almost up to 400. But I do mention this quite often, is the screen res that I'm filming in. So your screen resolution has a lot to do with the themes that your viewing experience on your desktop. So when I'm filming in 1080 versus filming in 4K, these mouse cursors will look different to you as far as sizing is concerned. If I'm south of 1080, I'm down here maybe at 1440 by 810, this will be quite large. So we're also going to talk about mouse and touchpad resizers. You notice that that just went dinky. This is the default size. That's what that line represents. Some of your cursors that you're going to add in the future are not resizable. I'll give you an example of Night Diamond Red. The developer also makes this in a blue. The developer is the one that determines the size of this, not Linux Mint. So basically when I go here, I've heard this complaint before. I do the resizer and there's something wrong with my Linux Mint. It doesn't resize the mouse pointer. There's nothing wrong with Linux Mint. It is the developer who chose not to give you different sizes. So please be aware of that when you download some of these things. So Night Diamond Red comes in a blue also. And both of those cursors are non-resizable. They only come in one size and one size only. It may be small looking to you here. However, if you are in screen resolutions that are down in this area, they will look very large. So yes, there is a purpose for a lot of this. Okay? I'm going to move on now. I will switch this to, what was I using? Dark Bolt. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Default, there's nothing in there. So I got 4 of these, but there's more than 4 cursors in here, right? Pointers, mouse pointer, mouse cursors. So that means there's other places that it's installed. Yes. These are your system ones. This specifically is your default cursor. I thought I left it at large, but I guess I didn't. Nope. Let's go with large. Where do you think this one's installed? Some of you folks know this question. File system, root. Everything starts from there. USR, share, icons is what I'm looking for. I'm going to type in an I. It finds the first I that it's looking for. And this folder right here. Before I open it though, I wanted to right click and let you see the properties of this folder. It is owned by root. That means you have to have root permissions to add and remove anything out of that folder. This is where Linux Mint puts their standard mouse cursors. This is what I used to show also on my previous channel. I don't anymore. So everybody gets these mouse cursors, even if you're not even a new user yet. As soon as I create another user, they will also get whatever is in here. Okay? Root permissions. I'm going to open this up. Let's take a look at these. This one is this one. The Modern Classic is that one. Modern Ice is this one. And so forth and so on. You can see the rest of these. Could I also install the other mouse cursors that I have here? There. Yes. I used to do that quite often, but I don't anymore. These are easier for you to manage. Your period or dot icons folder, you don't need permissions. You have the permissions already to add and remove things. Not so much in your USR share icons folder. And I don't recommend that for new users anyways. So play in this folder here. In addition to that, not only are mouse pointers found in 2 different locations, you can see that it's a mix in here. There's no add and remove keys here. You can't add a mouse cursor or remove one in this screen. You have to do it here manually. Can you delete these? You have to have root permissions and you need to be in a certain folder for that. And I don't recommend it. But wanted to just to point out that the system is smart enough to look in 2 locations. Is this the only system that I installed mouse cursors and dot icons? No, it is not. Every Linux distribution I install those there. They're picked differently from the desktops. XFCE desktops are different than like Cinnamon desktops, for instance. But they get installed in the same folder. All right, I'll talk about the installation in a second. So let's deal with this over here first. Do you like this theme? If you do, it's available for you right now. You don't have to go and find it anywhere other than here. When you click the Add and Remove, you have roughly, I think there's 90 of these things in here. So I'll pick the last one. It's Winter Bloom, where you can hit the light bulb and it goes to a website called Cinnamon Spices. And then you get an idea what it looks like. Depending on the icon set that you picked, also might look slightly different. Where are these installed? File Manager time. They're installed in your dot themes. Metallic Cyan is installed. I'm using it. That's the theme that you're looking at right now. So I'm going to add this Winter Bloom thing by hitting the arrow key, and you'll see a folder appear over here in dot themes in your local user. Again, this video was requested. Winter Bloom is right here. To pick it, we go over to here. So it's more likely downstairs, so I'll need to scroll down there, and there's Winter Bloom. Interesting panel bar. Interesting menu. Closing the file manager and reopen. Nothing is affected there because the icon set is Yarrow. Well, we can change that up a little bit if you like, giving you a different perspective on things. All right, so I will go into the dot themes folder and change this out to Yarrow. Then I'm going to change the theme back to Metallic Cyan, and we're going to go in here, and we can do it 2 ways. If I hit the X here to uninstall it, it will remove this folder, or I can remove it from here. You can see the check mark disappeared. I'll reinstall it for you. Just to let you see that, I'm going to uninstall it here. That's normally how most people do it. I wanted to let you see the location of these. All right, if we care. All right, so I'm going to close this now, and let's talk about the combinations here. So I installed and I'm using Metallic Cyan. So it looks like that currently, right? And actually, let me just open up the file manager so you get a different perspective. Control-H. Smallest to largest, and in between. High contrast icons look like that. Papyrus icons look like this. The menus are slightly different. They're softer. Okay, different perspective of these, going back to here. Then we have applications. Sometimes I call this button sets. I'm just picking one out of the blue, just to give you an idea. So a lot of different combinations. Between this, this, and this, we have lots of combinations, and you can mix and match. You can also add themes, and again, they're installed in dot themes, and again, roughly 90. Lots of stuff you can do yourself. The mouse cursors, not so much. If you're adding additional mouse pointers, such as this one, or others, then you'll need to install that and go through a different website for that. But I will show you how to do that if you like, since the subscriber requested this video. So I'm going to open up a browser. I'm going to go to my own YouTube site. Hopefully you've already subscribed. Again, this video is going to be quite lengthy. It's got 391 videos currently, so I'm approaching almost 400. And you can click my mission statement and read that. And then you can go find either GNOME-Look or XFCE-Look. I'm going to open both of these for you. So that's for XFCE, but it's got 900, here let me make it larger for you, 954 cursors. And let me open up GNOME-Look.org. Okay, also 954. So yes, they are sharing databases. I'll click and close that one. A lot of times too, when you are clicking on things, I think I had a problem with one of these the other day. Let me do cursors first. This one here was giving me an error. I don't know if they fixed that yet. And if you run into problems like that, you may want to inform the website that your cursors are not being pulled up with an error. Okay, so this one you already have. Linux Mint already has this installed. It's this one right here. It's identical, just to let you know. And we can go with latest also. And a lot of these things may not be your cup of tea. I'm just resizing that slightly if you don't mind. It makes it easier for me to see a complete set. Let's go to like page 10 and we can just find anything. Something that is not so basic looking. That's really missing out here. All right, empty pixel cursor. There's another one. That one's 32 by 32. There's another one that's called empty something that has multiple sizes. And that's another thing for you to look at. So what sizes are these? As I pointed out, the red cursor that I was using was only one size. Let's try this punk one and let's see what it looks like. It's got two files. And this one looks to be the favorite, so let's click that. So anytime you're doing this on both the look.org's website, XFCE or GNOME, anytime you click these kind of things, they do have a sponsor, supporter. And they gave them a mini tip because the developer spends a lot of their time creating these things. So somebody's sponsoring them. There's a lot of folks that do stuff in the Linux community for free, like myself. So we're going to do download. If you get an error, I would inform the website. Okay, right now I'm waiting for a download. And it's completed. All right, now I'm going to close this and close that and go to my file manager. So I have some in here. I just downloaded these. All of these came from that same website, GNOME-Look.org. And some of those files sometimes are different. I'll show you what that one looks like, that if you don't do certain things, it doesn't install properly. Let's unextract that one. That one's in tar.gz, that one's in zip, tar.gz, tar, tape archive. Redundant. Anyways, extract here. So we have a cursor or index and cursor. That means that this should be ready to go. So I should be able to cut this and stick it where? Mouse cursors need to be installed where again? Control H, in period or dot icons. If it is formatted properly, Punk does have an index theme and cursor. It should be viewable in your menu. And that's what it looks like. This is a very small cursor. So does it resize? It's at maximum. It does not. Would this work for me? No. It would be too small. However, if I was running in a screen resolution less than 1080, it would be fine. So there is a need for some of the smaller cursors, believe it or not, out there. There's other people out there that don't run in 1080 or 4K. Plenty of people actually. All right, so I'm going to switch to, what was I using? Dark Bolt. I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to show you an error on this one. So some of these you'll download, and there'll be an interesting effect on them. So I'm going to uncompress it. And if you didn't bother reading it, you'll automatically do this. And you'll put it in your .icons folder, and you'll wonder why it doesn't work. Right-click, System Settings. Sorry, I need to pull it down to let you see the name. It's called Empty Butterfly Green. It's not in here. And the reason it's not in here is not formatted properly. So you need to have an index or a cursor theme and cursor folder first in here directly. So the README file actually states that for this developer, that you need to move the empty butterfly folder to the .icons folder. So, but he decided not to do this for you and gave you one of these, which is okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that and do it directly from my download folder. I'm going to first extract it. Extract here, right-click, extract here. And then I'm going to take this folder, which has the index and cursor theme, and I'm going to chop this out of here by cutting it and go directly into my .icons folder and paste it. And then I'll right-click and let you see that it will be available for me to pick now. That's what it looks like. It's a see-through. They make this in a green, yellow, and some other colors. Same thing, you'll need to follow those directions. Not all of these do this. So I'll just keep using this one. I'll do one more for you. I'm going to extract this one. This is radioactive and it's already formatted correctly. Right-click, cut, and paste. Don't have to do anything on that one. Right-click, System Settings. And where is it? That, radioactive. This one is resizable. I'll go with Dinky to Jumbo. Well, large. So a lot of times too, you want to check that on that website if you're interested, or you can just test it out. You can always delete these. So what happens when you want to get rid of stuff? Let me go back to what I was using here. This menu is getting kind of busy. Very simple. First, I'm going to dump my trash in case I change my mind. I will go into here and pick the ones I don't want. Click that. Nighttime in red. I'm holding down the control key and punk. I'm going to delete all three. They're in my trash. I can return those also by just doing a restore. Okay. Now you'll see the menu is reduced and I don't have as many. So you can test drive some mouse cursors this way. I'm going to do one more thing. I have a icon set here that I downloaded also from gnome-look.org. All right, so I'm going to extract that one. It's rather a large folder because it contains a lot of icons. And this is a complete set. I'm going to also cut this one and place it in the same folder, .icons. So what I put in this folder here is icon sets and mouse cursors or mouse pointers. So this is called Flight Dark Icons, and how do I pick them? In here, since remember this doesn't have an install button in here. It's this one. That's what the menu looks like. File Manager, Control H, small to large. That's a Plasma logo. So this theme was made for a Plasma desktop. I'm just temporarily using it to let you see it. If you find that these kind of themes or icon sets that you download are missing icons or generally just don't like them, you can always just test them out and get rid of them. It's that simple. Okay, I'm switching this out to that one. And then I'm going to open up my .icons folder. And keep in mind that is still here until, if I can find it, I hit the delete key. This will still be here if it's open. So it's in the second row. However, when I reopen this menu, it's no longer here. So this is how you can test out and get rid of things in a hurry. And if you change your mind, it's in the trash. So are these other ones. Okay, I'm done with this. You already have the website. All right, let's talk about this menu. Right-click and configure. First is the icon sizes. This is set for jumbo. You can make these smaller. Okay, they're done by 3 sizes right here. You can also grab a hold of the window itself in the corner and pull it down and resize. Okay, this icon is customizable, and I'm going to talk about using custom icons now. So I'm opening this file manager up and turning off hidden for a second. I already showed you the 2 folders, the dot icons and the dot themes. Now I'm going to talk about regular icons. I have an icon folder here. You can create a folder, call it whatever you want. And I have a bunch of junk in here. A bunch of goofy looking icons. Some of them I made, some of them I downloaded, some of them I edited. Whatever your thing is, create a folder. Call it icons if you like. Place it in your documents folder. Whatever you do, once you use one or more of these icons anywhere in your system, do not move this folder. Do not change its name. Do not change the name of the icon. Why? Because if you do, and you do a reboot, you get a blank. Because the system needs to find these things. Just like every other icon on the system, it has a location. So if you decided to change the location, that's why if you rename things. One or more icons. Right-click, configure. The icon is in here. Browse. I'll come back to the system ones in a second. So mine are located in here. Again, I do not move this once I use one or more. Whatever I choose is whatever I choose. And that becomes the new icon. Text is over here. Also, the height of your icon determined by the height of your panel. You know, the panel height here. The left zone, you can also change the font size. I got mine set to 16 in case you use text. Same thing goes with the time and date on the right zone. I also have it set for 16. This is your standard theme. You can see how dinky that is. I normally automatically do this on all the Cinnamon desktops. Okay. The custom logo is all up to you though. I'll cut it out. Now let's talk a little bit about standard icons from Linux Mint. We can do emojis also. Okay, down here. So if you go with the regular icons, be aware that you can change the height in here based on the height of your panel. So if you end up with something like that, when it's tiny, then you may want to increase that to get it, all the way to the top of your panel. And you can see all the different logos that you can pick, including the Cinnamon. All you got to do is that. So sometimes you're safer using these icons in case you have an affliction of renaming folders. So these will always be here. Okay, so pick the one you want. All right, recap time. We can add themes from add remove. Again, they're stored in .themes. We can add manual mouse cursors. They're installed in .icons. We can add icon sets. I don't think you'll need to. You got plenty to pick from. And you can mix and match these. Okay. Change that logo by configuring. And also the size of the icons are done in here. Thank you for watching.